Guys, I'm pretty happy with my shading skills, but I still want to take it even further. And so right now I'm studying Pofu, a goated artist, but there's already a problem. So far, I've tried not once, not twice, but 4 times to create something similar, but I had no idea where to start. So I decided it would be a good idea if I started breaking down our shading and focus on just one part. Alright guys, so I've been cooking up take 5, and to be honest, I like this. It's looking pretty good. However, it's definitely clear that I tried to give up shading like Pofu. However, I'm gonna give it another attempt, but this time I'm gonna cook up a different plan. I'm gonna try and fully render this hair now, but I just realized I don't have a painting process, and so here's a new plan. Firstly, I'm gonna think of the light direction. Lastly, in order, one at a time, I'm gonna do the shadows, lights, highlights, and then the bounce lights. And then now I feel like I'm getting somewhere. Hold up, this is looking pretty good. But guys, this is when I said to myself, hey, I forgot to remove the line art. And as I was erasing the line art, I was like, whoa, what is going on here? It took like a huge level up. There's no way it was just me that saw that. But guys, there was something even more important that I realized after looking at Pofu's art for so long. This thing that I realized is so simple, and it's just that I haven't been thinking in 3D. Simple as that. And hair kind of feels like one of those things where you don't really need to know 3D, but this little mental shift definitely makes it, in my head, a lot simpler. And now guys, this hair is looking awesome. It was not supposed to end up like this. I was expecting my own hair to be like double the length of Moist Cuticles by the time I got to this point, but like damn, I did not expect it to go this well. Now this doesn't look like Pofu's hair, but I do feel like I caught like Pofu's shine, like the essence of her bright shiny highlights. But guys, there's also one more thing I need to do. This wasn't on the list, but since the hair looks so good, it would be a sin to not shade the face. And alright, boom, this is the final face, and it's looking really good, bro. It's looking so good. I'm glad I decided to see it through today. Also, I wish I gave her a body. For the next painting, I'm just gonna fully deck it out. Well, sleep schedule destroyed, but guys, we've run into a problem. I want to learn how to shade folds, but I've legit drawn one fold during this whole entire 100-day challenge. So before I learn how to shade them, I gotta learn how to draw them. But before I even do that, I want to get a bit better at drawing characters. Alright guys, a few minutes into this pose, I knew I was gonna hate drawing this. You know how last video I was like, I can now draw without stressing? Well, I lied. This pose is stressing me out. To be honest, I have no idea what's wrong here. And the worst part is, I didn't even learn a single thing here. I was stuck, and being stuck is just the worst feeling. I hadn't been this annoyed in a long while, so I just went to bed. But not really, because you can't leave on a bad note. But I took a slight break before I came back, and I'm glad I did, because when I came back, I realized the solution to all my problems. The simplest thing ever is just to slap my drawing over the other drawing and see what's different. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't do that earlier. And after doing this, I realized that the shoulders and the chest were misaligned. So I fixed it up, and finally, I was able to go to bed, man. Except when I woke up, I started working on the same pose, because there's a difference between like pointing out what's wrong and actually understanding what led to my mistake. And I don't really feel like I know what led to my mistake. And this is really triggering me because I drew this pose like 2 months ago. By any means, I want to get this pose down. So I decided to spend the next 2 hours workshopping it, but I couldn't find the missing piece. But that's when it hit me. I've practiced the torso, the arms, the legs, the head, everything. But there's one piece that I have overlooked. The only piece I can't see in this pose, the neck. And once I realized this, I was instantly able to draw it from imagination. And because this really pissed me off, I did it twice just to make sure that I could draw it. And now guys, this looks pretty damn cool. And it really goes to show it only takes one minor misalignment to just mess up everything. Which, to be fair, I can't see the neck here, but at least I'm glad I figured it out. God damn it, bro. It's been a whole 2 days. I was supposed to be done with folds by now. Alright, next guys, I thought it'd be a good idea to grind out a few more characters real quick, and I was targeting specifically poses where large parts of anatomy are hidden. And it was so much easier now that I knew that the neck was the main problem I was having. So this was a pretty peaceful experience. I'm pretty happy with this. Alright guys, I spent the last 2 days studying folds for way too damn long. It was boring as hell to study, but again, I don't want to relearn anything, so it was worth it. And these look awesome. At first I was kind of afraid to draw the folds, so I drew some mannequins, but I wish I drew it on these poses. Also, something I noticed is I've been drawing only hard angles for like the last 2 months. It actually genuinely feels weird to have the camera pointed towards them at a normal angle. And some of you guys are probably like, what type of hell did he crawl out for him to say something like that? Hey, honestly, I just wanted to mention it. I don't want to relive any traumas, but actually I'm glad I did, because you guys are watching like an 8-minute video, so my progression is gonna seem like turbo speed. So to put it into like perspective, again, It generally feels weird to draw a normal camera angle. That's how hard I grinded last video. But alright guys, we finally got into me shading folds. After that long grinding session, after all that fold studying, I was able to make this. Which, I mean, hey, this is looking really good. In no world in my head was it's supposed to look like this. The folds here kind of got this metalish type of vibe to it, and I think it turned out pretty cool. Alright, so before I move on to anything harder, I gotta go to bed, but I never go to bed on time. Right now is just my chill time. So here's some of the things I drew. Alright, so I drew this. I'm pretty meh about. She was supposed to be disgusted. It looks like a give me your toes type of expression. I drew Patrick about to get stomped. Who doesn't love a little bit of Patrick abuse? I drew this masterpiece over here. The best part is clearly the legs and fingers. You know, honestly, just seeing Boichi is enough to make me like giggle like a child. By the way, I be posting my pieces on Twitter along with some posts that might make you go WTF. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description down below. Alright guys, now I'm gonna draw something and shade something much harder. A raincoat. Okay, so I've started to sketch, and this time I specifically picked a pose where the arms were bent because I hate myself. But on a good note, I think I did a great job here. I think this is looking pretty cool. Like, I like the vibe. The folds here aren't necessarily correct, but mid painting I realized that I don't think I'm too interested in perfecting shading folds. But guys, not gonna lie, these man pecs, they're bothering me. At any cost, I am gonna get them right. Alright guys, I got them right, but at what cost? It's time to go to bed now. I guess it is what it is. Good night. Alright guys, today I was thinking about what I want my art style to be, and I kid you not, I thought about this when I was out the shower, in the shower, outside. Sorry, nah, I don't go outside. But yeah, like, I have somewhat of an idea, but I don't really know. But here's what I got so far. I know I like using saturated colors. I also want something that's kind of a bit more towards the realistic side, but still anime, kind of like Chainsaw Man. But after looking at some of my favorites on the reference board, I realized there's just way too much, bro. I have all of Pinterest and Twitter in here. But in my defense, for the last 90 days, whenever I see something I like, I just drop it in here. So right now the plan is I'm gonna just limit myself to 10 art pieces. Except I actually didn't do that. And basically I changed my mind because I was looking at my art and I realized that I switch art styles more than kindergartners get cold. So if I pick something now, I'm just gonna keep adding more to it. These art pieces were drugs, I would have way past overdose. I would have overdosed so hard that whatever eats me next is gonna overdose as well. So yeah, I think just having these in my presence is more than enough. Alright guys, it's late at night and I want to shade something with skin. That kind of sounded sus, to be honest. Please excuse my susness. Alright, so I'm studying skin right now, and these are just a bunch of thoughts I had in the moment. I'm never gonna read them ever again, so I don't suggest trying to read it. And so what I'm doing here is just looking for parts that I see over and over again, because the more you see something, the more relevant it becomes to you. For example, this small little blush here. At first, it seems just like a blush, but then once I see it again, and then I see it on a real life person, it becomes super relevant. And now I will never forget this little blush. But the great thing about studying this way is that those are 3 different times I've thought about it, and each time I come back to it, I come with like a fresh mind. And so what happened here is that I realized that is actually not a blush, that is a 3D plane. And since I'm still kind of a newbie to art, I still always need that reminder that, hey, this is a 3D object. And you ever notice like how whenever you have like a breakthrough moment, it's something that you already have kind of known for a long time, and this is because you didn't know how relevant it actually was. The goal should always be to make things relevant, and this is why making things relevant is more important than understanding. And so this is what I've been doing for the most part this video, and now I'm just vibing, just straight up vibing. I already had spent so much time on this page that when I actually got to painting, it was just really easy. And I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's because I'm really new to shading, but I keep surprising myself, and it's kind of cool. But you guys know how I'm vibey right now? Well, it just hit me. I gotta finish this video off with a bang, and for this final piece, I started going in heavy on the shading. For the eyelashes, the lips, the hair, everything. I was so absorbed that it felt like I was time leaping. And now here we have it. Boom. I think this looks amazing, and the shading is looking so good. It made her cheeks pop like popcorn, and that was unintentional. And my favorite are the bed folds. They look majestical. Look at that. This is definitely one of my favorite pieces I've done so far. It just turned out really well. Again, next video I'll be drawing manga panels, but also I'll be putting together everything I've learned in my art journey. And lastly, if you want to check out more art, my Twitter link is down below. But with that said, thanks for watching and peace.